How do you do, fellow kids? My birthday is right around the corner, and I could think of nothing that would make me happier than doing another portrait of myself. This time it will be the largest oil painting I've ever done. So, what better time and way to celebrate yourself? Anyways, here she is. Step 1 complete. Canvas has been acquired. Now I just have to paint on it. Come here, Mia. You have anything to say? Oh my gosh. Tell me more. Well, you heard her. Let's get to work. There's a mild blemish, but I think we're okay to proceed. I need to choose my underpainting color. I'll do this yellow ochre. It feels warm. It's like a warm yellow, goldy color that I use a lot, so it should be fine. Okay, that's a generous blob. I feel like the last time I kind of talked while I painted, it was just an incoherent mess. Hi. I guess since it's my birthday, I can talk about getting older a little bit. I feel like in my 20s I spent a lot of time kind of like worrying about turning 30, getting to my 30s and getting older in general. And the things I anticipated and worried about really don't matter anymore once I got here. So would not recommend being concerned about it. I guess a way to sum it up would be like, I can see my under eye bags coming out, which is something I didn't expect really, but I do love myself more, so that's nice. Okay, so post painting this, I actually found an even better way to summarize the feeling from a book called Tom Lake by Anne Patchett, and it goes, "There is no explaining the simple truth about life. You will forget much of it. The painful things you were certain you'd never be able to let go, now you're not entirely sure when they happened, while the thrilling parts, the heart-stopping joys, splintered and scattered and became something else. Memories are then replaced by different joys and larger sorrows, and unbelievably, those things get knocked aside as well, until one morning you're picking cherries with your 3 grown daughters and your husband goes by on the gator and you're positive that this is all you've ever wanted in the world." Eloquent as fuck. It's a really messed up reference photo, so it shall be. I don't even know if this is actually how you do an underpainting. I like hate reading instructions, so this is like what happens. I mostly use it as like a way to paint sketch, especially with oils when you get too many like thick layers, and I don't want to overcomplicate it with colors right now. I just want to get the vibe down. I don't know what made me even consider the possibility of me finishing this today, but here it is. I'm so tired. But I finished the layout, finished marking out like my shadows. I think that's the one big thing I try and focus on when I'm laying out a piece is like where the light and the shadows are coming in from. It helps me set up the structure of a painting, building it up from a thin layer to a thicker layer. So I'm going to start with the darker colors as very thin layers, so then I can kind of blend in, mix in the hues, or like the colors, and then build that up to the highlights. And then the highlights should be the thickest, but I've also seen where people come in with the white parts early on so they know not to paint over it. The key is keeping the lights and the darks as separate as possible, and then adding in the tones in blending those into the lights and the darks. Does that make sense conceptually? I'm no professional, but I've done this enough times to where that's a formula that works for me. I think what I have the energy left for today is adding in the blacks, so filling in some black section. Let's pick a brush. Got to soften up my paintbrush sometimes. They harden into little shells of themselves. Are you flexible yet? 3 girls. Can't turn back. Just gonna go with it. Ooh. We're just gonna do it. I'm gonna add in some browns to this, reds to the shadow to match the red of the carpet, and then the brown of the sofa. And then this stuff can just be black because the dress has black spots on it. And then my hair is black because I stopped dyeing it. We didn't start the fire. My hair was so messy that day. Just get a nice base layer in. Nice base layer in. Tonal guidance. I think my new sunscreen's getting my eye. Any thoughts? Oh my goodness, that was so cute. It's nighttime now, and this is how far I've gotten. I'm trying to work out some of the scale and proportion here, but I'm excited about it. I think it's looking pretty good. I just hope it lives up to the vision I had in my head. But day 1 complete. Day 2. I have the Great British Baking Show playing on the background. My cat's here to destroy. I think we're ready. Come here. Whoa. Almost lost my balance. Oils are so soft, just like me. Okay, the camera battery died. If that's not a sign that I've overstayed my welcome, then I don't know what is. So I'm going to wrap it up for today. I'll show you the deeds. So basically, if you come over here with me, we have this area, which, no, there's like a little black, you can't even see it. It's going to bother me now. I'm going to actually smooth that out really quick. Okay, whatever. Okay, here's what it's looking like. Got a nice couch. Day 3. Day 3. We're tackling the rug. We're tackling the rug! I was able to start painting a little earlier in the afternoon and catch some of the sunlight still coming through the window, which is my absolute favorite thing. I love just generally daylight. Nothing beats natural lighting for me. It's just like a sense of peace and possibility, like a warm little hug for your eyeballs. So if you're like me and enjoy that time of day, aka the entire day that's not night, then I hope you enjoy this footage as much as I enjoyed making it. I forgot to wrap this up before I went out to do stuff, but it's amazing how much difference I feel that comes in when you add the red of the rug. And I'm going for cozy vibes, so yeah. I kind of blotched in some of the patterns, but I'll fill those in more detail when it's a little tackier. And tomorrow I'm going to do... I've decided I want to just like start putting down big blocks of color, because these are mostly going to be just like different variations of the same color. Different shades of white, slightly different shades of like a blue, gray. Shoot, what day is it? Is this day 3? Day 3. Fin. Wait, what's that word you say after mathematical proofs? QED. I don't know if that fits in here. Okay, that's all. Hi, I'm back. And I have bangs. Don't worry, it's not a crisis. It's just a fashion choice. I mapped out some stuff yesterday. Just some of the shadows and the dark spots remaining in the photo, and I'm excited. Knock on wood, good so far. I feel like most paintings go through an ugly phase, so I'm not like super attached to it, but I think today is the day where I'm just gonna slap down some color. I've been putting it off because I didn't want to like put out blue if I didn't have enough time to just commit to it. But I think today and tomorrow morning, a little bit today, mostly tomorrow morning, I will have time to just paint and see where the paint takes me. Like this is gonna be like some dark grays, and it'll start offsetting the curtains, the nice gauzy white curtains with the sun streaming in, and I think it'll be really pretty, and I'm excited. Woohoo! I did end up painting over this layer of purpley gray you see here because I didn't like how purple and light it was. But here's my first pass testing it out. So at some point the days started to blend together and I stopped counting them. A very similar feeling, in fact, to the past couple of years. When you're in school, there's like definitive markers of time, like a semester ending or graduation, going off to college. There's these very strict lines in the sand marking how far you've come and how much progress you've made by that bar. But as you start working and joining active outside life, it's after a few job changes, it's like more or less the same. You have a few big markers like buying a house, moving to a new city, things like that, but I do feel like it's much more self-guided. Like you get to choose when these things happen for the most part. And after you settle into a rhythm, it's really easy to just get into your own rhythm and be doing your own thing, and then suddenly a year goes by. I have spent these past few years, like many of us, trying to figure out life and what I want to do with it. And if there's anything that this period of time has given me, it's the time and space to learn how to be a safer space for myself and do more things without incredible expectations. Prioritizing what I want to look back on in a few years, like what I want, how I would want to have lived. I've quit art a few times over the years because of just compiled and unmet expectations. And I tend to get caught in my head a lot, thinking both productive and unproductive things. But every year I aim to be better, and so that's my goal for the coming year. Test. Day 952. I'm tired and don't really feel like painting today, but my deadline is approaching, so I'm just trying to do a little bit. I set a small goal for myself to just slap down some color here. I filled in some black here, and then I'm just gonna get the yellows. It's kind of cooler yellow tone down on these locks. And oh fuck, did I do that? Shit. This is why I don't like painting when I'm tired. It can be pretty frustrating. I need my arm balancer. Yeah, we're just gonna try and finish this and then log off. Okay. Okay, it's an hour later and got some color down. It's not too bad. I'm happy with where I am now, and I'm gonna go to bed. Woo! I'm hot. Hi, I finished my painting. I'm sorry, I'm really awkward. But, this is probably the last painting I will do in my 20s, which is kind of insane to say. I think I should be leaving for lunch soon. But here she is, and I'm very proud of her. My birthday is coming up this Saturday. I took some time away from the family to come back and finish this painting and wrap this up. And it's been a lot of fun to make this. I'm having to film this for the second time, and I'm like, I wish I had just turned on my microphone, because it feels so scripted now if I just like repeat exactly what I said before. And I'm not very good at like being natural. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, yeah, that's true. And I think a lot. This is why I'm looking contemplatively out into what appears to be the windows. I think this is a good depiction of me looking back on my 20s. But yeah, it's like interesting getting older. I feel like there's so many things you wouldn't expect in terms of good and bad. And it's been fun. It's been a journey for sure, and I think it's like things you can't anticipate, you know, like loss and heartbreak. You know what's going to happen to you, but there's no way you're really going to prepare yourself, but you are like strong enough, you realize, to get through a lot of things. And I'm sure it just gets worse as you get older, because that's just life. We're just on this planet to just shrivel up and to blossom and then leave. Like this year I had to put down my childhood cat, who's in this photo with me. Not this photo, she's in the painting now. I like kind of photoshopped her in there with my paint. But yeah, it was like a really hard period of my life. Like I still get sad thinking about her sometimes. I'm not getting emotional right now, I just don't know what to say. There's always little things that like bother me about paintings. Just like, I could have gone harder on the black right there. There's a little bit of the like undercolor peeking through. Right here, right here, right here. But I do want to move on with my life. I don't think it's my favorite right now because I am tired of looking at it. Much like any project or piece of work, you start out with a vision and then you kind of execute and then you lose the plot, and then it has moments of beauty and then it gets really ugly, and then you have to bring it all back, and then by the end you're like kind of sick of looking at it. So here I am, sick of looking at this, but I do really like this piece because it's probably the biggest concept piece I've seen. Ay, ay, ay. It's about to overheat. Okay, that's enough for today.
And with that, I bid adieu to you and my 20s. I hope you had a good time hanging out with me, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.
My brush is very crusty. Hi.